Everybody get up, it's time to slam now.
Come on and slam, and welcome to the jam. Come on and slam, if you wanna jam.
Figuratively speaking, fear's terror is afraid of me. It's scared of the frightening bravery which occasionally forces me to write this vagrantly courageous type of flagrancy for which there is no vacancy. It seems that my pain has been silently creeping with an insanely profane and inhumane kind of speaking from the literary havoc I be grammatically wreaking while magically leaving people's brains ravaged barbarically like a savage with reason. 'Tis the jolly season's vaporly rabid addiction to my articulately adaged and particularly avid descriptions of the erratically sporadic afflictions which have copied and bitten every word I've ever uttered, added, or written. For adamantly twisting and twirling these words in an absurdly profound whirlwind of nouns and verbs that can only be found swirling in the most renowned corners of the far-fetched depths of the farthest stretches of the universe's most profound sounds and slurs. If you prefer, I'll improvise impromptus on the spot and ad-lib on the fly so that you could hear a proper alibi. I'm poetry's epitome with a poetic validity that's lyrically known to be poetically persnippety, a stoically heroic poet known to spit persistently, prophetically, proficiently, progressively, and prolifically, explicitly, an illicitly linguistic lyricist with the lyrical physical fitness of an exquisitely terrific physicist, with a biblically clinical and critically cynical type of spiritual diction that propels the renowned recognition of my pronouns prepositions during this profound deposition to which I found you listening. And now you're bound by your cognitive dissonance for my ominously obvious omnipotence confounding your incomparable ignorance. Therefore, it is highly imperative that I rampantly fight for the emphatically relative rights of the semantic relevance of my scripturally synopsized and extensively intrinsic eloquence. Hence, I can scribble this riddle while I drivel in the middle of literally.
I stop the truck and pull the brakes in. Open the door, it's hotter than sin. Friday afternoon at the Holiday Inn, and moments later I walk through the front door pushing a heavy hand truck. I greet the nice lady at the front desk, and she warmly offers to show me where to go, but first she needs to grab the key to the storage closet, along with about 50 other assorted keys that open who knows what. Apparently they keep all the keys on one keyring at this hotel. As she fumbles through the keys trying this one and that, I wonder amusedly if she's ever unlocked this door before. Finally, she selects the right one. The door opens, I drop my delivery and thank her on the way out. I stop the truck, pull the brakes in, open the door, there's rain on my skin. It's Friday morning at the Holiday Inn, and moments later I walk through the front door pushing a heavy hand truck. I greet the receptionist, but this time she's busy, and the phone's ringing. She hands me the key ring and asks if I know where to go. I reply, yes, ma'am, but do you know which key opens the door? I know the answer before she gives it. She doesn't know which one, but it's on that ring. She always has to try a few to find the right one. I walk towards the storage closet holding 7 pounds of assorted keys and wondering how long it will take to unlock this puzzle. Now, when the first key I selected slid into the lock and turned to open the door, I actually laughed out loud. See, I don't believe in luck or gambling for that matter, but for a moment I considered buying a lottery ticket. In this world that's been made by God, nothing happens for no reason, so I pay a little close attention. I take a look at the key to see if there are any distinguishing marks that might make it easily identifiable for next time. The nickel plating is worn away in several places, revealing a dull brass beneath, telltale signs of extensive use. There are dozens of keys on this ring, but this is the only one that bears these marks, leading me to wonder if it's the only useful key in the entire collection. It can take years of handling to wear away that shiny outer layer. How many times had this key slid into the lock, teeth aligning pins allowing the cylinder to turn, and fingers removing metal, molecule by molecule? How many times had all the others hung idly by, offering only a jingling musical accompaniment? This key? This is the MV key, most commonly called upon, most frequently selected, well worn and familiar to the touch. And when I'm feeling worn thin, this key reminds me that the things with the most wear are the ones that are most used. They're used the most because they're most useful. And your scars and wear should remind you of how valuable and beautiful you are.
I'm thankful for the shit that's gone right. I'm thankful for the shit that's gone wrong despite strife. I'm thankful for the good as much as the bad. I'm thankful for sorrow as much as I'm glad. I'm thankful for wars, peace, and for freedom. I'm thankful for the people we managed to become. I'm thankful for music, and I'm thankful for silence. I'm thankful for home even with the sound of the sirens. I'm thankful for places I've been and places I haven't. I'm thankful for the fires of hell and the clouds up in heaven. I'm thankful for chances, and I'm thankful for obstacles. I'm thankful that life isn't always as simple as probables. I'm thankful for walls, and I'm thankful for bridges. I'm thankful for the smooth moments and the ones with some ridges. I'm thankful for the moon, the stars, and the sun. I'm thankful for the dirt, the oil, and the guns. I'm thankful for the compromise and for the disagreement. I'm thankful for the uneasy and for the convenient. I'm thankful for the concrete, and I'm thankful for the trees. I'm thankful for the difficulties we've found among ease. I'm thankful for confusion and for the moments of clarity. I'm thankful for sanity as much as I am thankful for sanctity. I'm thankful for the obvious, and I'm thankful for the hidden. I'm thankful that things have happened even when they feel like they didn't. I'm thankful for everything right and all that is wrong. I'm thankful for all of the noise that turns into songs. I'm thankful for my good choices and for my mistakes. I'm thankful for the opportunities I did and those I didn't take. I'm thankful for intuition, and I'm thankful for doubt. I'm thankful for soft whispers and for the loudest of shouts. I'm thankful for birth, and I'm thankful for death. I'm thankful for days past and all the days that are left. I'm thankful for the light. I'm thankful for the dark. I'm thankful that expression is allowed to become art. I'm thankful I've loved, and I'm thankful I've feared. I'm thankful I've lied and that I've been sincere. I'm thankful I've worked, and I'm thankful I've played. I'm thankful I haven't and that I have found a way. I'm thankful for this moment as much as the next. I'm thankful for the calm as much as the stress. I'm thankful I'm breathing even when I feel that I can't. I'm thankful I failed and succeeded at plans. I'm thankful I've forgotten and that I've learned. I'm thankful I've lost and that I've earned. I'm thankful for the people I've lost and the people I've got. I'm thankful I am who I am and not who I'm not.
Wanted love, unconditional. I wanted love, me, just for me. Love is love is love. But back then, I kept my sexuality close to my chest, and what a mess when the newbie staff member asked me in front of all the house clients, "What group are you going to?" That day, it was the LGBT group. I kindly tried to deflect the question, and he pressed me and he pressed me and he pressed me until I felt I had no choice. Until I was outed, then outraged, because back then I wasn't ready to reveal my love for women as public knowledge, because when I came out initially to someone close, I faced fierce, angry backlash. She who thought I was broken tried to refute my sexuality. "You're just in a phase. How could you know if you never dated anyone? What if you would change your mind?" I could have replied, "You Doug change their mind of their migration pattern typically," but I took this too hard. Instead, I tried self-conversion therapy for no real reason, except for that shame she led me to feel. However, where is self-love? Still, I'm searching for a dove, whereas I could hear the escaped pet parrots populating the nearby trees. I landed on the fact that I had to utilize the Google search dove, a directive written, "There is no love like your own," on a randomly left behind drawing taped to the wall across from my bed, yet the bodies of the butterflies were in hiding. Never once did I see one. I was in hiding. But then I decided I must try to undo the harsh messages that came my way for over 2 decades. The game of telephone was flawed anyways, the messages lost along the way. We didn't bother with that game, but I did know that Lady Gaga and Beyonce rocked the telephone while I wanted wanted to throw my phone out the window. This pain was almost unbearable. I didn't have a teddy bear like he did, an oversized one. Instead, most of my belongings were bare, yet I was sure to bring my small stuffed animal toy tiger, my spirit animal. If only my spirit could be revived easily, to not think of dying.
Welcome, friends. Clasp hands, gather in. I invite each of you to break bread, imbibe, and abide in what appears again, opposite to me, an analogy, an opposite view between the apostle and the apostate. What the former considers admission, the latter states is mere apostrophe, an agitprop aegis to absolve accountability. Pathological white lies by pathetic appeal weaponized, a pathetic putting on of false airs to cover the arrogant pomp and flair of an uncaring narcissist's white knight campaign of covert derision. Under pretext of peaceful, beneficent contrition, unsolicited, aggressive, pious permission to veer away from the hot pink road to perdition. An ornamental white flag of armistice waving with pride over valleys of blood-soaked wild carnations. A coarse bundle of gorse sticks, a tall pyre upon which to affix and engulf armies of A-marked hands, their sole sin being love.
Cozzy, what do we do, man? These alphabetically attached actual actions that we be trying to put together these word combinations in a single moment just to touch her. When she walked into the club, every dude said, knick-knack, paddywhack, girl, give this dog a bone. You see, I got help on this song. I couldn't have done it on my own. She was a red bone at home in the dark room she played where the Terminator termites were eating these chairs away. Cozzy, there was an alligator slayer who got too drunk with the waiter. He was a backstabber, roller derby, a skater, a traitor. I would rickety rack backpacks, these backpacks filled with tracks just to jump Jupiter's sun because we began on the run. And our sights, there were these white kites, the paint on the canvas. The lights delight these beautiful hermits. The girl's name? Frances. Despite her fright, she might just smite this mic in madness. And this redhead harbored hatred for her body at 28. It was far too beautiful of a shell, just a tool to send you to hell. In the room, it was broken. There were books chewing cigars to outspoken, soaking in wood shelves wanting to waken. I was poking fun at the pages taking the bus token. She's choking to the sound of, girl, we just joking. Because no one cared that her words were mighties when she looked like Aphrodite's. Her voice got lost in the chaotic seas of MC like Kevin's and me. It's never a day in the life, it's all at night when we write. Moonlight disappeared, tight hearts, doors with fears. Our peers terrified tears, terraformed open spheres. There were secular cheers. Go in, poet, we hear. While her body barely behaves, girl, let's misbehave. It was a therapeutic rave on these phones as our in-weeks days when the smoke passes that ass in an accidental way. She states sarcastic sadness, silly fashion, fused with fusion, had this crowd so suspicious in the fictional function confusion. The he pains before art to put her heart in an illusion, caught your horse, slow it down, round arms, throats, surgeon soothing. All they see is that she looks like Venus, but that ain't her genius. She's the thesis of a genius, and they the meanest. Between us, they only think with their, anywho. You like a rose, but you don't know her vascular, muscular, you savage to her. They put her heart in a jar because they want the avatar. I sit back and observe, but my words might not be the cure to her curves.
Albania peeped through the cracks of the demolished ruin. Sorry. Albania peeped through the cracks of the demolished ruins around her. It was the 5th day and she was still alive. Grateful for the tiny speck of light still peeping through the clouds, she lifted up her soul and offered it to God. Blankness, then hope, as she awoke while moving through the ether. She could hear commanding voices issuing orders, the familiar songs of sirens getting closer. Slowly, her young fingers brushed past the oxygen tubing, now running across her emaciated frame, the lines that hurt her veins. She was in intense pain. She had not known food or water for many days. Cold, distraught, cheerful, and broken by human ignorance, she began to deja vu of the heartless infernos dropping from above with ceaseless precision. Why? Whispered her delicate heart questioningly. No sound came, no answers, only a mad rush to get her help. Before she went under, one simple question pierced her virtuous spirit. Where has love gone? Médecins Frontier raced across the intense devastation to a makeshift hospital not so far away. Everywhere was carnage, confusion. They were used to dealing with the effects of battle, but angry that callous souls dining on greed, caviar, and opulence showed no interest in addressing the needs of so many desperate souls. Spreading the poisonous tentacles of power, their faceless souls hid behind murky mirrors, dark, heavy blotches on the very hearts necessary to pay obeisance to the laws of mercy and compassion. Amidst all this, Albina cried out to the unknown, one of many innocent children going through extreme suffering, when those capable of saying something on their behalf remained indifferent to their concerns. War, the outer effects of greed, fear, and insecurity that man from time immemorial has been too cold, too complacent to surmount.
Here I am, Lord, knees to a dirty floor, just trying to find myself. The clouds have darkened and the people bear loud. Chaos walks in the company of giants and no one knows each other's name. We just nod our head in the crowd, walking the valley, but we speak in different tongues, together sharing in the same discomfort. I'm just trying to find the strength to pray today, to keep faith in a place I ask God to uplift us from. Some drapes off the eyes of men. They disappear into the heavens, lighting our pavement and the markings of 7-day candles. And here we are, Lord, the cries of their mothers can be heard in the areas we no longer have the heart to walk through. For each memory is the glimpse of their reflection, a reminder that here I shall no longer be found. For where can growth be in the view of dead flowers?
Existing, insisting on this reality. Secretly, my mentality been pushing past the gravity, twisting bliss into mortality. Proof is not a question, it's the answer, enhancer of morality. Truth is, I'd rather be floating in space with zero normality. I stay grounded as a formality, confounded by sanity. Sounds like a man to me. I must exist. I must insist I exist on several planes. Aim at the one I feel is the place for my fame. Brain wide open, set aside hoping, knowing is the key that keeps my mind open. Broken, pieced back together with leather and brass grommets. I'm past all it. Wordsmith that has vomit in my pocket. Sprockets in my brain churn through every frame like slow motion. The notion of space and time becomes erased once you displace the venom from your face. Let's break it down, if you insist. Existing is a near miss. This place is so rare. I'm glad that you're here. It's magic. The fabric of space-time melts mind that can't process the nonsense it took to make all of this conscious. I promise, Thomas be my name. My aim set to enlighten. Don't be frightened. I'm just reciting this game. To raise the vibration of your brain. Take it with a grain of salt or sand. space, or land. I'm just here to lend a hand.
This is a hello from consciousness itself, only leaving my lips out of the necessity of your ears screaming to see. Normally, I'm the quiet one, but today I am my pen's teller. Speaking is a collection of energy, memory, resurrection. Moving molecule-made muscles, lubricated parts primed all aligned to imprint a feeling. It's a kind of magic we've been practicing for epochs. We used to stop eating to see, because time moves slowly when we fast. The heartbeat is our connection to the past, easier to hear when it's pounding in the ears. A deep breath reminds the resting body of mind melding, an assortment of machines molded together by thought creating time. You call yours yours, and I'll call mine mine. So long as we know this was always consensual, regardless of the senses' refusal to adapt, you're not trapped, just caught in attachment. You are loved because you are love. No reason for the below or the above.
They say the devil is the father of lawyers. I'm sorry. The devil is the father of lies. The Satan serpent started speaking sweet sophistry so early in history it's in chapter 3. When he slid out of that tree and started whispering the law, he started twisting the law. The first thing he asked was, did God really say? See, this was the beginning of a whole new trade, legalistic language weaving webs of wickedness designed with doubt in mind. The first of his kind, leading the legally blind, a slandering indicter, criticizing the creator, abusing commandments designed to be savior. In ancient Hebrew, the word Satan means accuser, an appropriate title for the first finger pointer. He couldn't be judge, jury, or executioner. He had to settle for chief prosecutor. When a law intended to bless was corrupted into a binding contract that no man could fulfill, the attorney set to work. He points the finger at your darkest parts, presents the jury with a picture of you as one who could never be renewed. Redemption. How dare you? You're too far gone, worthless, discarded. Even your Messiah doesn't want you. He seeks to devour, consumes your self-loathing like sustenance, turns it back around as evidence. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I present to you Exhibit 1. The defendant won't even deny that his conscience bothers him. He knows you can't argue. You'd add lies to transgressions, deepening the depression, another infinite regression. But my mommy used to say, don't ever let them make you feel guilty for something you didn't do. They can't give you the guilt if it's not already in you. But what if that blame is yours to bear? How do you cope when the witness against you is actually playing fair? Don't forget, two things might be true at the same time. The devil is a hypocrite, but you still did the crime. The only way out is pardon, a grace that atones. Forgiveness, that's a legal loophole even Satan doesn't know.
Split me down the middle, and you would find a riddle with thises and that's, and as facts often go, they don't flow where we go when we don't know what we don't know. You know what I'm saying? Playing often led me down dangerous roads that slowed me down. Over time, things changed and remained the same. Are things worse or can they be better? Do I keep to myself or keep writing these letters? Is there time to sigh when all we feel is the pressure? Is there time to smile when all we feel is depression? Are there any answers to all of our questions? Maybe I should move forward and put things behind me, but I seen and heard things that hit me like blinding lights binding in darkness. It made me sick to play tricks on myself. I had to work to regain my health, to relearn what I earned doesn't have to burn me out. If I doubt, it ain't a measure of who I am. If I shout, it's not because I don't give a damn. If I fall, it doesn't mean I won't get back. If I crawl, it doesn't mean I won't clear the track. I've gained a lot to lose a lot and thought plenty that I should stop, that I should hide beneath the surface, silently clinging on to a purpose. But the outside won't conform to what the inside can't transform. So I'm transfixed in a space, stuck in place, while forced to chase all that's fake and all that's real, all I feel and all I don't. things admitted and things I won't. It's all there, nowhere and everywhere.
Food coloring was not used in this house. I don't think anyone ever baked a cake, yet instead someone tried to bake chocolate chip cookies, but this was a hell of a fail. In fact, missing an egg from the ingredient list. I wish the word failure would have gotten out of my head where the demons were lured out of hiding. When my trauma snapped last Thanksgiving by the emerging nightmares that awoke me and left me sobbing, I was not giving thanks, but then again, maybe this was a breakthrough from being suppressed in my subconscious now to the conscious within a battle. Truthfully, I didn't want to get back on the saddle, but knew there was no other way but through it, and out of it was the refrain in my mind since my amazing psychiatrist told me that years ago, and I kept this close to my chest. I often pondered why horses would scare me and that I would never ride a real horse. I remember seeing an antique saddle once in my auntie's garage. Just don't ask me why. Even though horses are majestic, those big eyes and running manes flowing, what if I felt free like them to be me? Whereas instead I faced meanness and I needed to take control of my life because it was mine, but it didn't feel like mine. Just feeling powerless, less than human, less than other people, been kicked when I was down, mocking me indirectly were those having fun while I was stuck in misery, jealous of their happiness. Wish I had that peaceful, easy feeling. Sheet music to play, but I'm no piano player. Playing Till Kingdom Come was Coldplay, but come on, that's just a fluff phrase. Please, rid of king, but then dumb would be left only a suffix of morpheme to add somewhere else. I know where, without second guessing. Womanhood doesn't cut it. Let us elevate this to womandom, to rise while the demons were playing with my mind. Whereas another client loved to play with his hair, an obsession I didn't give my much care. He brought me a new brush, Evolve brand, with a pink handle, because I confessed, the more I brushed my beautiful hair, the more tangled it would get stuck. I didn't know I needed to brush it downwards yet outwards at age 27. I wanted to evolve into the best me. They say I am what I create myself to be.
Today I put on In Rainbows by Radiohead, started thinking about you and wished I was dead. Just thought I'd say hey and how I feel really sorry for raining on what we had before it really even started. We had something good happening, riffing and rapping, but I deluded myself on how my health I was sapping. We had stayed up all night talking about forget-me-nots and daisies, and I believed in my days that you might be the one who saves me, or at least preserves the vision of myself that I'd been chasing. Now that mirage is nearly gone, up in smoke, evaporating. I chase highs, but whenever this fiend becomes manic, he gives everyone around him sufficient cause for panic. I suppose then I've developed a perennial habit for taking good shows and rendering them static. Unfortunate then that so terribly early on my condition had on it such a bright spotlight shone. Tough talks are for evenings, I showed my bad side at dawn. It gave you enough cause to pause, pack your things and move along. I prattled on in patterns, pedantic, frantic, and scattered. I bent our budding relationship too far and it snapped and shattered. Now this tortured, starving artist has hardly left his apartment after taking it really hard upon realizing that you darted. I thought if not my heart, you'd be my spar, not my departed. But alas, what's the expression about beating the dead horse before it's carted? In my mind, time seldom progresses linearly, so I've been stuck in limbo, rewatching the play-by-play of you and me, hoping to manifest a different outcome, one that I'd like to see, where I didn't lose my mind and I allowed a good thing just to be. Hey, I finally caved, followed your lead, and created an Insta page. I use it to display the beautiful brain behind this artist's frames. I've also eliminated residual shame around my being gay. Since you as well like guys and girls the same, I figured you could relate or at least be happy to hear that a fellow queer overcame their self-hate. Or maybe you wouldn't be happy at all, and my reaching out would only occasion pain. Maybe, while I've been mourning you, you've entirely forgotten my name. Maybe you found favor in another gallant night or dashing day. Maybe a list of maybes a mile long put me here in the first place. Maybe I should seek solace in how you ended things in a callous way. knowing my mental state and thus do not deserve my time of day. Or maybe there's no point in reaching out because there's nothing to say and hoping for change is futile after such an interminable delay.
What child is this who lay to rest on Mary's lap? You know, you could have called me a host or a CEO, a sole proprietor, a businessman, pillar of the community, but no, you said innkeeper. And so embedded in history for all eternity, the most casual of villains, precursor to every playboy billionaire, unwilling to offer a helping hand to God, and so born in the mud and the filth. Perhaps forgiveness will be granted to me, if nothing else, for the symmetry of the moment. He was birthed in a cave and then buried in one 33 years later. I've seen your ideas of a stable, but there was nothing stable about this. It's as accurate as your depictions of me would never last the winds of a desert night. The summer that I found that cave, I was 18 years old and in love. I knew the old man did not know what he had. The property was too much for him to take care of, and the people were too much for me to take care of. But I knew by building with my back still strong, I lifted beams while my love beamed at me and the life we were making. We folded sheets to cover our resting places. More than an inn, I told her. My love, the cave out back could be made a stable. And the farm over there next year, oh, the desert will go green, my love. She always believed in me. And I was so hungry with bills to pay, mouths to feed, children to raise. The desert will bloom one day, love, but tonight, close this place up tight. The winds are blowing. I was a bookkeeper, chef, manager, owner, operator, janitor, construction, and goddamn carpenter. Oh, the irony that I was working on a door when he showed up. The husband saw my tools before he looked at me. It was the only time I saw him look confident. But I was busy. I might would have not let them stay in there even if I had room, but I really didn't have room. We had heard the census was taking place, and we knew that it could truly change our lives, and it did. And when that baby was born, I wasn't there. I wasn't there. I wasn't there when the child came. I was doing something.
For I'm experiencing major struggles, a seismic shift created by love to untangle my inner demons. The supreme alchemist works on my eyes and hearts so I can see the dawn through this dark maze of anxieties and despair. Fear and loneliness sing sad songs as insecurity and uncertainty hang onto the windows of my future, me calling on hope to shift this crucible of fire. Yet all is as it should be. The bird of faith will sooner or later ascend on the citadel of the soul. For I am the sons and daughters of tomorrow's sun, glowing within 1,000 beams, yet to remove the veil, casting aspersions on the spearless jewel which I am, the songbird of perennial freedom. Just as summer's the precursor to autumn, so too a dark winter will ultimately fade in the unfurling magnolias of spring. Doesn't the ashen clouds eventually make way for the silvery sky? Isn't the darkness an antecedent to the glorious daybreak? The shooting stars dance, knowing the sunset will herald a sunrise on another golden morn. I am in chains, seeking my flame as in the allegory of the cave, trapped in my self-created tunnel of shadows. Yet the beloved beckons, the light of the beyond who yearns for me, like the prodigal son, to return home. The breeze of solace embraces me, piercing through my mistiness of sorrows, cascading rays of an illustrious lantern, glowing in the dark, entreating, go on, go on. Hope chants verses of a candescent ray, diligently pruning my mind of cobwebs. I need only to let go of the vice of negativity created by the demonic flares I see, ears tainted by the venom of toxic fumes hovering the media, while the corporate narcissists smile all the way to the foreign banks on my account. Alas, like most humans, my governments are fallible too. Yet even while I scan their thoughts like an X-ray machine, searching for the unlearned lessons of war, love, in its mercy, continues to coax my fallen heart with the sweet songs of sunflowers, whispering with Satchmo, it is still a beautiful world. I fade into a seed and take roots, sprouting into a plant, a tree with branches and foliage, offering my flowers, blossoms, and fruits to the impoverished, so I too may love.
Mornings are dark to the woman I have not become. Oh, Father, I try to cry in ways that wouldn't wake the children, but the cabinet smell of a closed case and no interviews. Home has overlooked me today, but it's the silence that kills me. Every day I pray that I'm enough to end this cycle. Regret has been the only thing that the radio plays since I lost me. Children, while funding wars, and here we are lost. Love has not been the thing that has come freely. Orpheus watch boys become men in hopes of feeding their mothers. And these sirens come every 8 minutes. Sanity has been layered in the brick walls that just try to bear our numbers. Plus, there's nothing holy here. No one stops the red stains that drip from our flags, and stars have been used to steal the day. You can't tell me the amount of people that have stolen has been overlooked, for whose camera cannot capture a parting light.
My very educated mother's dear Aunt Sally just served us 9 pizzas because, as we all know, every good boy does fine. Had I known she was coming, I would have baked her a cake and I would have eaten it too, as if it were mine. Since then, I've watched reindeer play antelope games while the buffalo do what they do when in Rome, because there ain't never been no place like home to start parting the sweet sorrows of tomorrow, from which more likely than not, today is gonna end up having to borrow the hindsight of yesterday's past, which is only a day away from the precipice of kicking somebody's ass, because frankly, my dear Watson, I don't give a damn, which is elementary, like the non-televised revolution during which Fee-Fi was a foe that fumbled the truth that would have set you free, like the power of knowledge in life's forbidden tree. Amidst the certainty of death and taxes, it's like curtains when you're placed in a certain bracket of one of the greatest of rackets to have ever done it, until our stock price plummets down into the dang gummit of G. Williker's sinister plot, while Dag Nabbit and Golly G keep plotting on me. So please forget to forget me not, because I'm no longer my sibling's keeper, but my brother from another mother. I got you, because you my motherfucker. So here's looking at you, kid, because the world's a stage acting like it got some damn sense. See, I am. Therefore, I think about everything but the kitchen sink that's on the brink of the verge's edge. But by the looks of it, it seems Houston may have a problem because all that glitters ain't gold, since there might be greener grass on the other side of the book cover, which shows how a small man can take a giant leap for mankind's next step. Oh, and did you hear? Mother Goose's goose got cooked because it got loose in the gin and juice and it got its neck stuck in the noose. Just turn on the news. It's full of useless information. And now the scorned woman from hell is furious because money don't grow on trees, since it's the root of all evil, like most people who sit under church steeples. So if and Ann would butt out the conversation, perhaps maybe could tell me where my peoples is at. Probably eating Kit Kats like Tic Tacs on TikTok, ticked off doing the crip walk full of shit talk from feeling ripped off after failing to try and try again, because the success from simply just showing up is at 80%. So if the shoe fits, yell YOLO until you're stronger than what doesn't kill you, since there's no tomorrow to live like, especially when your 2 cents worth of beans don't add up to a mountain's molehill. Because when you blindly follow the blind, your mind fails to see the divinity of forgiving human error, which stands to unite the fallen who have been divided by those who came to see how they could conquer all. Long story short, this land isn't so free because bravery left home. And since we're not in Kansas anymore, I may just take Toto to Africa and wait for Dorothy to catch up because she sure ain't cutting the mustard. So I'm gonna keep walking through the evil valley of all of my death-riddled shadows with no fear. To be continued, or not to be. Wait, what was the question?
My bodyguard is a gaudy bard, a sidekick, hardly psychic, 40 stars lit to disguise him. Bombard the party hard quick, this hardy full twist the hardest tool. The dismiss when he hissed, if you hardly exist then he's pissed. Amongst the demons and shit, partly devout, godly, oddly misplaced, too cool, always getting faced. Stay sweat and waste from every pore, sword from every door, shut in disgrace, but he still sin just in case. In the grip of misplaced hate, straight forward to the northward mountains, no one can afford to be around him, surrounded by fountains that bubble blood. Stumble and spin, been in trouble, but he wins with every grin. Humble, when it's done, it's a heavy stun to the whole crowd. He can eat a whole cow, beat an old foul, creep, cheat, and he go wild. Teeth looking for some cash, ass, or meat to devour. The street glow beneath his feet in this hour. He never sleeps, it's just bits of peace with his eyes closed. Too wise though, so he never shows his hand. Knows this land, he's so clever, he never goes unspoken. Shows he can sever whatever grows broken. Size of the skies seen, he's so mean. Throws potions across the scene. Oceans of emotions just wiped clean. Those motions of broken homes. Straws drawn short. Sort through the bullshit. Two full clips spit in all directions. Imperfections. Who spit the illest shit? Dressed to impress, he's killing it. Impressions pressed against inspections till it's lit. Injections fill him quick. Inventions from some dimensions he's traveled in. Unravel sin. Fill it with gin till the devil sleeps. Creeps slowly, knowing it's all just an 8-bit level dream.
Not a mother in the flesh, instead, I'm the one putting demons to bed. Listening to their stories, always more on endless repeat. For days I'm contemplating ways to twist their words into chirping birds, assuring love stands strong for all. When they scream at my walls and coat my throat in hollers of no, I know, someone is ready to rest. It's time to show the best fighters what's waiting from them at the end of the line. Bedtime! You'll make your way the very same, a sway and a swagger, drop all your daggers and off to Snuggletown you go. You're all my children, killing each other is part of your play.
So I'm in Walmart the other day, minding my own, enjoying being out on and about on a rare and warm, sunny winter's day. Just meandering around, people watching. There's a few things I know I want to buy, but I'm in no hurry. Now, I guess at this point, I should point out that I'm dressed in jeans, hoodie, black Nikes, and a backwards native ball cap. Pretty much my way of dressing every day. My style, my comfort zone. And you might have guessed it, I'm walking through the hardware section. And I hear it. The inevitable. Fucking dykes. Goddamn dykes think they are men. They want to do everything a man does. And I look over to see an older white man with his MAGA hat on, John Deere t-shirt, sounding like the literal bullshit on his boots smells. And in this very second, I have two choices. I can let loose with an expletive-filled tirade against homophobic and assholes like this guy, or I can respond in a different way, a more poetic way. And as you can probably guess, I chose the latter. No, sir, I do not think I am a man. I would not want to be someone who is as fragile as their masculinity. Hell no, I'm not a man. Someone who is taken aback by a woman doing a task as simple as shopping. who thinks women are only designed to receive his seed, who can't see past his own fucking penis to understand that he is a dying breed. No, I don't want to be a man and do the things a lot of men do. Treat women as anything but equal, abuse and terrify women like you think your comment did to me. Absolutely, I don't think I'm a man. I don't want to control women's bodies or rights, giving no shits how they feel or what they want or what's in their best interest. No, I don't think I'm a man at all because you see, I have more testicular fortitude than most men. I mean, God made a man small enough to fit in whitey tighties, but she put mine on my chest where a 36D struggles to hold all of this testicular fortitude in. Mine have fed children, gave them a safe place to lay their tiny heads, and yeah, they've turned a man's head or two. What do yours do besides swing between your legs and sweat or rule your other head? No, being a man doesn't interest me at all, but being a woman who loves women does. Being a dyke who cherishes women and treats them like the gifts they are does. Being a woman who is self-sufficient enough to take care of her own shit does. Having the testicular fortitude of a woman does. Being a voice for all women does. So tell me, sir, why would I want to be anything as simple as a man when I could be a fucking dyke, which is so much more than you will ever be?